My name's Jenny. I'm here with Dr. Tanisha Burke for Parenting the Fascinating Way. And Dr. T is going to be answering questions today off her Facebook group. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, go ahead.
So the question today that I'm going to be answering is around how to get a young child to fall asleep. Now, the mother that posed the question did not give a specific age group, so I'm going to be answering for two age groups. So let's start with the young ones, the babies. So one thing that I will say is that children from as young as around 3-4 months, they can fall asleep by themselves relatively frequently. So one of the things I want parents to do is that you have to try as much as possible to have a routine. Make sure that you have a time, it may be 7 o'clock or 8 p.m., that no matter what, as long as you're home, if you have to go to an event and take your child, that's different. But make sure at home there's a specific time that you put your baby to bed. So say, for example, it's 7 o'clock. You make sure that shortly before they're fed, they might have a little bath, everything that will make them feel as comfortable as possible. Once that is done, you make sure the temperature of the room is okay, and also the lightings, depending on where you are, 7 o'clock may still be a bit bright outside. So it may mean that you have to buy dark curtains so to have the room, because again, you're thinking about the how the body rhythm works. We're more likely to fall asleep if we're in a dark room. Once that's done and your child is comfortable, you put the child to bed, you might sing a lullaby or read a book, then you leave the room. Now, parents, that may mean that your child will start crying again. And you can go in and make sure everything is okay, but you should not stay in there to make sure your child falls asleep. When you do that, children are not going to be able to fall asleep on their own. They're going to be dependent on you. And what we need to do is try to start teaching children how to regulate their emotions and also how to start regulating their bodies. And some people might think at 3 months that's too early. Actually, it's not.
No.
So sometimes what you can do is allow them to cry a little bit to fall asleep. Now, this might take 5 to 7 days for it to work perfectly. What usually happens is that parents, by day 3 or 4, they have given up and have basically thrown in the towel, said, okay, no, we can't do this anymore. You have to be able to stick to it. So 5 to 7 days is when the child will get used to it. Now, when we get to the older age group now, so you may think about age 6 or so on, you have children who might have difficulties falling asleep. Again, the same thing, have a family routine, have a very set time for when your children should go to bed. And then you have a before bed routine. So is it that they sit and read books? Also, do not have them on the electronics at least an hour before. If they're on the electronics just before bed, they're not going to fall asleep. Okay, so make sure that you at least 1 hour before they have electronic free time. And then you have your routine. Is it bath time, story time, and so on? Once that's out of the way, then you have them in their room at a particular time. What you need to do is have a family meeting. So if your child is having difficulty falling asleep, have a conversation with your child. You can ask, for example, this is what I'm noticing when it comes to bedtime routines for you, and you express your concerns. How does bedtime feel for you? And what you can do for very young children, you can find those emotion charts on the internet, because sometimes they may not be able to find the words to describe, and then have them point out what emotion they're experiencing. And then from that, you can problem solve. Then you need to ask your child, what kind of things need to happen to make bedtime helpful for you to fall asleep? Again, they might say, you know, I need you to read more stories. I would prefer for you to sing a little bit more, and so on. But some children might give you a laundry list. So you have to narrow it down to limited choices. Okay, so you've given A, B, and C. You have to choose one. And this is what we're going to try for the next week or two to see how that will help you to fall asleep. But it's really important to have a set bedtime for children. You can't have your children going to bed at 7 p.m. one night and then at 10 p.m. one night. Also, it's really important to have the routine set in place. And once you have those routines, stick to it. Now, if your child comes out of the room, you bring them back in there. Don't say much, just bring them back in there. If they say they need water and all of that, then you have a choice of not giving that to them, because you know before bedtime they've gotten all the water that they needed and everything. And let them know as well that when you're in bed, it is actually mommy and daddy's alone time. It's a time for me to recoup and get my energy back. So if they come out 10 times without saying much, take them back into the room. Again, similar to babies, it might take a week or two for the children to get into that routine, but it's really important for you as a parent to be very disciplined with that. So those are my tips on what you can do when you have very young children, and also children who are still in early childhood, what you can do to help them to fall asleep. So parents, get the emotion chart so that you can help your child to narrow down the emotion that they're experiencing before bedtime, and then you're better able to resolve the issue and come up with effective solutions for them.
You are absolutely right on that. With my eldest child, because she was the only for about 4 years, we got into a terrible habit of her sleeping in bed with us, which some people do like that whole family sleeping thing, and that's fine. I think it's to each his own on that if you want that. But it was really, what would happen is then Bill and I would never get any alone time in the evening. And you know, your kid is in your room all the time. And even as a 6-year-old, she'd walk in with her pillow and blankets and lie on the floor then, when we had stopped that. So with my youngest two, I did what you say, and I had a tape. I wasn't much for singing at night, and I did read to them, but I was so tired. And it was called The Pokey Little Puppy, and it was a storytelling song kind of a tape, and they loved it. So it became, the minute they heard that, they would jump in bed because they were ready, obviously. And then that was sort of a signal, like a Pavlovian response, because it was like, oh, this is what we do now. And I'd stay a little bit and make sure they're tucked in and comfortable, but that worked great. And so that's great advice. Well, thank you so much. So everybody watching, please like, comment, and share Dr. T's videos. You can go to her website, TanishaBurke.com. And please comment below, because you're answering questions lately on your Facebook.
Yes. So instead of us coming up with topics, we decide to go with questions that parents need to answer right away. So yes, leave your questions below.
And we do post this at Fascinating Womanhood, the official channel on YouTube. So I will pick up your questions there, or Dr. T, if you see them there, we'll answer from there also. So anyway, thanks so much. Have a great day, and we'll talk to you all later.
Bye.
Bye-bye.